और लोकतंत्र को बचाने के लिए सबको मिलकर एक साथ पे काम करेगा। देश सबसे बड़ा जायदा है काम करने का। अगर लोकतंत्र खतरा में है तो देश खतरा में हो जाता है। तो लोकतंत्र बचाओ, देश को बचाओ, दिस इज आवर स्लोगन।
একদম মির্জাপুর আসলে পারবি এই মির্জাপুরকে মৃত্যু জীবনে হয় না, তার চিরকালই বেঁচে থাকে নানা কাজের মধ্যে দিয়ে। এই মির্জাপুররা মনে করেছেন তারাই শেষ কথা বলবে, কিন্তু তারা যদি সব করতে যান তাই কিন্তু দাঙ্গা থেকে শুরু করে আরো অনেক কেস আছে, সবকিছু কিন্তু বেরিয়ে পড়বে। ক্যাট উইল বি আউট অফ দ্য ব্যাগ।
Viewers, what you heard was pure provocation. Don't let anyone tell you that this was some protest. It is not protest by any stretch of imagination, viewers. What you heard was sound of democracy being threatened not by the BJP but by those who pretend to save the Samvidhan, Constitution, while plotting to undermine it, viewers. They shout, "Save the Samvidhan" from podiums, but behind the curtain is pure, unadulterated, unvarnished anarchy, fakery and fear-mongering. Allow me to explain, viewers. Let's start with Mamta Banerjee, Chief Minister of Bengal, sworn to protect peace and people. You would imagine she lashed out against the Election Commission and the BJP over the S.I.R. But here's the shocking remark. She said, "Don't play with fire," invoking the British Empire's fear of Bengal, as if her threats are not echoes of colonial divide and rule. Mamta Banerjee said this is not S.I.R, it's backdoor NRC. She alleges a BJP conspiracy to wipe out votes. Viewers, what does it say when a chief minister threatens horrifying consequences and public outrage if a constitutional exercise goes ahead? I will tell you what it says. It says she's above the law, or she thinks she's above the law. It says she's powerful enough to engineer chaos to cling to power. Action reaction, viewers, is no justification for dhamki in a democracy. Aren't her words an invitation to rioters? Will it not embolden goons who want to burn Bengal? Then we have Rahul Gandhi, whose vote chori fakery is the perfect prelude to Mamta Banerjee's call for mayhem. Remember his dramatic briefings, presentations, but where's the proof? The Election Commission begged for affidavits, for names, for evidence, and all they got was a blank column. Viewers, now let's just connect the dots. You will understand. This is no coincidence. It's the ecosystem's anarchy toolkit in full deployment. The same script they pulled for CAA, Waqf, farm laws, talk about conspiracy, whip up fear and then fan the flames of violence. As simple as it gets. Mamta Banerjee says don't play with fire. Rahul Gandhi accuses chori. And the liberal echo chamber is silent because, you see, this does not suit their narrative, viewers. No outrage over a chief minister talking of violence. No demand for Rahul Gandhi's evidence. Viewers, this toolkit is not for protest. It's for provocation. And what does it all amount to? Mamta's rhetoric emboldens criminals. Rahul Gandhi's fakery erodes the trust and the ecosystem, cheers the coming chaos. Is threatening violence democratic? Can it ever be democratic, viewers? Is smearing the poll panel, the Election Commission, patriotic? Think about it while we have this debate.
একদম মির্জাপুর আসলে পারবি এই মির্জাপুরকে মৃত্যু জীবনে হয় না, তার চিরকালই বেঁচে থাকে নানা কাজের মধ্যে দিয়ে। এই মির্জাপুররা মনে করেছেন তারাই শেষ কথা বলবে, কিন্তু তারা যদি সব করতে যান তাই কিন্তু দাঙ্গা থেকে শুরু করে আরো অনেক কেস আছে, সবকিছু কিন্তু বেরিয়ে পড়বে। ক্যাট উইল বি আউট অফ দ্য ব্যাগ। আজকে বিজেপিকেও আমি আবেদন করবো, আগুন নিয়ে খেলবেন না, কন্ট্রোল ইউর সেলফ ফার্স্ট। আপনার মিনিস্টার যদি কাটতে হওয়ার আগে বলে দেখবো কি ভোটার বাদ দেবে, ফার্স্ট আপনি মিনিস্টারকে বাদ দিন।
अगर मुझे दुख के साथ कहना पड़ रहा है कि ममता बनर्जी के लिए बांग्लादेशी और रोहिंग्या उनके लिए अगर उन्हें बंगाल में दंगे भी कराने पड़े, खून भी बहाने पड़े और भयावह परिस्थिति भी उत्पन्न कराना पड़े, तब भी वो उससे पीछे नहीं हटेंगी। यही चेतावनी ममता बनर्जी ने कल अपने बयान में दिया है। यह गैर संवैधानिक भाषण।
पश्चिम बंगाल की मुख्यमंत्री ममता बनर्जी जी ने चुनाव आयोग के द्वारा निर्धारित S.I.R की प्रक्रिया के विरुद्ध जिस प्रकार का खतरनाक बयान दिया है, ये कैसे संभव है कि कानून व्यवस्था जो कि राज्य का विषय हो, राज्य की मुख्यमंत्री सीधे इस बात को थ्रेटन करे। संविधान अगर खतरे में है तो इस प्रकार की सोच की वजह से खतरे में है।
Let's open this up. Tuhin Sinha, the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Siddharth Sharma ji, the national spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. Badshah Alam, the national spokesperson of the Rashtriya Janata Dal. Professor Monojit Mondal. Nikhil Jain and Karan Verma completes this panel. Nikhil, as part of the Save Samvidhan grouping, what do you make of this comment by Mamta Banerjee?
Pranesh, first of all, on a lighter note, I love the fact that even when the TMC leaders say something, you come to me. I love the camaraderie that we have.
No, I'll tell you what your problem is. If I don't come to you, you say you don't let me speak. If I ask you something upfront, then you have a problem with that.
I don't have a problem with that. I'm just mentioning it.
Okay.
Be that as it may, I don't understand Bengali, but I'm entirely relying on your team's translation. And in your translation, in your graphics, I see warning number 2: bid to tamper votes is betrayal of democracy. Now, I don't really understand how is that a warning? How is that anti-democratic? How is that calling for violence? What Mamta Banerjee is saying is the voice of the entire opposition. And in fact, the BJP, even the BJP said something similar when Anurag Thakur held a press conference calling and alleging vote chori happening in the country. We should be talking about why the Election Commission of India is not publishing the names of 3.6 lakh voters that they deleted. We should be talking about why the Election Commission...
No, Nikhil, that's not my question. Just because, you know what, your party does not win... No, 1 minute. Just because your party does not think it can win the pole position in polls, you did not see point number 1. You went to point number 2. Point number 1 is don't play with fire. Is that okay for the Chief Minister to say?
Absolutely it is. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Okay, so
Playing
if S.I.R
fire,
is conducted, how will there be fire? Can you explain?
Millions of Indian citizens is playing with fire. Pranesh, you don't need to quantify and elaborate on these things. What she's saying is quite pertinent, that in a democracy, if you try to disenfranchise millions of voters, millions of citizens, there can be repercussions that neither of us wants. Repercussions.
So you are endorsing this. Okay. Professor Mondal, sir, how is this the Save Samvidhan script? The Chief Minister who's elected, who's taken oath on Constitution to serve the people, is saying if the Election Commission tries to conduct S.I.R here, the voter revision exercise, be ready for the consequences. What does this even mean?
The same Chief Minister takes oath to protect the rights of the people, which you, through the back door, by having a Chief Election Commission as your stooge, you are trying to remove, like the way you did it in Bihar. First, it came from BJP's minister and the leader of the opposition. They said in public that 1.5 crores voters' names will be deleted from Bengal. How did they get these numbers? Repeatedly, again and again, for the last 7-8 days, Shubhendu Adhikari, Shukanta Majumdar, they have maintained that in Bengal there are illegal voters, 1.5 crores. How did they come to know? In response to that, Mamta ji has said what she said, and rightly so. But you, doesn't understand Bengali, doesn't understand the translation, or you quoted out of the context. And for God's sake, there was who provoked Manipur violence? Who provoked Manipur violence? Manipur is burning for nearly 1,000 days now. Please do not talk about Bengal. Bengal is a peaceful state and it will remain peaceful despite your attempt from BJP to stoke the flame of communal violence. Despite the fact that you have
Professor
long
Mondal,
arm
now
in the
1 minute,
election
sir. 1 minute. Cut down the outrage. 1 minute. Answer the question. How will the S.I.R. incite, provoke people? Why should the CM say you're playing with fire?
I'll answer. Because we have seen in Bihar that legitimate voters' names were deleted. Because we have seen that Delhi police have sent 6 Indians because of their religion to Bangladesh. Now they are suffering in Bangladesh. Even the High Court had to intervene. Why the Indian citizens?
Now let's for a moment assume 1 minute. Professor Mondal, 1 minute. Let me believe what you are saying. Let's say the Election Commission, in collusion with the BJP, is actually working to disenfranchise voters. Now suppose that happens, what should the people do? Pick up arms, vandalize property, run riot, or will you ask them to go to court?
I'm amazed. I think we've debated about that. You are disenfranchising the poor people, the marginalized people, and you're asking them to file an affidavit in the Supreme Court.
Oh, they will not. They should just, set things on fire. It's easier. Why even, wait to file an affidavit? Let's bring in Siddharth Sharma ji. Siddharth Sharma ji, what is your view on this fear-mongering which is going on in Bengal? And this comes on the back of what we've seen happened in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court called out those overzealous activists and said, where's the proof? This is a fake affidavit.
Well, Pranesh, the Supreme Court is yet to give its final verdict, so I'd not like to substitute my wisdom for this. But assuming, for the sake of this discussion, assuming without admitting that the opposition leader, West Bengal Chief Minister, was instigating, then filing FIRs against people who insulted the Dalit Chief Justice on social media was also right. And that BJP Delhi police letting that shoe thrower walk away free was also wrong. If BJP can arrest sitting chief ministers like Hemant Soren and Arvind Kejriwal on petty charges, why not arrest Congress's Pehla Parivar when ED already has a watertight case? Is there an ilu between BJP and Congress? Or is Times Now saying that the BJP at 240 ki Baisakhi is a Bechari Sarkar, not a 56-inch ka share, rather a Kagji share? Is it so? Because if somebody is instigating, then file an FIR, no? Isn't it true that across India in many states, including BJP-ruled states like Maharashtra, that person who threw shoes or instigated social media, whoever instigated people against the Dalit the Chief Justice of India, if they were booked and they are going to be prosecuted, how come if somebody is instigating, why are you not prosecuting them? Why are they going
that's the second step. Siddharth Sharma ji, 1 minute, sir, 1 minute. ये क्या हो गया आपको? 1 minute. वो तो prosecution probe तो next step है. But if there is instigation, are you conceding this is instigation? और है तो condemn तो कीजिए. उसके बाद probe और prosecution होगा. How can the chief minister say you're playing with fire?
सर आप भी कंडेम कर दीजिए ना जो चीफ जस्टिस के ऊपर जिसने जूता फेंका.
मैं तो कंडेम करता हूं सर. अनइक्विवोकल कॉन्डेमनेशन. अनइक्विवोकल. Nothing is a provocation enough to 1 minute. To pick up arms. Nothing. No cause. अब बताइए सर. अब आप बोलिए the chief minister should not have said what she said.
Sir, in India, Pranesh, everybody knows. I think Times Now viewer knows that in India, wherever there is a crime, then the government has to become the prosecutor. The victim doesn't prosecute anyone. The government becomes the prosecutor.
Siddharth Sharma ji, you see, you asked me to take a position. I took a position. अब आप डर के भाग रहे हैं. ऐसे मत कीजिए. बादशाह आलम जी, मैं आपके पास आता हूं. But to answer what you've heard from Nikhil Jain, Professor Mondal and Mr. Sharma.
Well, Pranesh, sadly, some of our opposition parties, particularly the TMC and Congress, have been talking the language of Naxals. and trying to create mistrust in institutions and manufacture anarchy. Now, when it comes to TMC, Mamata Banerjee is a repeat offender. She had done the same thing when CAA was being implemented. She used to say that Bengal will burn. It's been, a good 2 years since CAA was finally implemented. Nothing has happened. She would do the same after Waqf Amendment Act. In fact, she is primarily responsible for the bloodshed in Murshidabad in April, because she was the one who was instigating mobs and saying that, things will go out of control. And she is trying to do the same thing now. As far as Rahul Gandhi is concerned, of course, he's a new entrant to this blackmailing tactics, relatively less experienced than Mamta Banerjee. But, the way Congress party is misleading the country on the issue. In fact, I will just tell you about a very shocking incident which took place in the Supreme Court 2 days ago, when Prashant Bhushan and Yogendra Yadav were asked to put forth the names of 20 people who they claimed were missing from the list. The very first name they produced was fallacious, it was wrong, and they were called out by the judges. If this is the kind of people, if these are the kind of people who are, providing cushion, providing fodder to Rahul Gandhi's and Mamta Banerjee's campaign,
right,
the entire purpose of these two parties is to hoodwink the country, is to manufacture chaos, and that they will not succeed in it, because,
Professor Mandal is saying that the BJP hasn't quite understood what Mamta Banerjee was trying to say. They are worried for 3.5 lakh missing voters. They are not bothered about the 7.5 crore existing voters who they seem to have given up on. This is the reality. These are outdated parties. They are fringe players who know their days are their days have been over. Mainstream political parties behaving like fringe players, says the BJP. Karan, the chief minister of a state, the sitting chief minister, mind you, saying don't play with fire for a constitutional exercise.
And she means it. Pranesh, she means it. She's done it in the past. On 5th January 2024, vehicles of ED officers, another institution of our country, they were attacked by TMC goons. On 6th April 2024, NIA, National Investigative Agency team attacked. Physical harm. That is what Mamta Banerjee is all about. She walks the talk, Pranesh. So take her very seriously. When she says dange ho jayenge, she means it. After Waqf, इन्होंने दंगे करा दिए मुर्शिदाबाद में. इनके काउंसलर महबूब आलम is named in the High Court for leading the mobs towards that. Justice Pardiwala, after RG Kaur rape case, said, in my 38 years, I have never seen a crisis like this. She has been pulled up by the High Courts, by NHRC, by the governor. It doesn't matter to her. Mamta Banerjee is very, very clear in my head. That is what I want to tell to Hinji. आपको डाउट होगा, उनको बिल्कुल क्लैरिटी है. उन्होंने राइट्स में कहीं पीछे नहीं हटी वो, चाहे मालदा हो, आसनसोल हो, बीरभूम हो. एंड लुक एट द ऑडेसिटी ऑफ आवर गुड फ्रेंड निखिल. एक शब्द इनके नहीं निकलता. 20,000 सीट्स गो अनकंटेस्टेड इन पंचायत पोल्स, 51 डाई. इनका एक फुट सोल्जर अरबिंदो मंडल, जो कि कांग्रेस पार्टी का है, उसने अपनी जान दे दी. आपके मुंह से एक शब्द नहीं निकला उसके लिए. When you talk about democracy, when you talk about a संविधान वर्किंग, क्या हो जाता है ममता के केस में? चुप हो जाते हैं. एक शब्द नहीं निकलता. आपके अपने लोग मर रहे हैं वहां पर और आपके मुंह से एक शब्द नहीं निकल रहा है. चाहे वो आम आदमी पार्टी हो, चाहे आरजेडी हो, चाहे कांग्रेस हो. संविधान कहां चला जाता है जब सीट्स अनकंटेस्टेड जा रही है, जब पोस्ट पोल वायलेंस हो रही है, जब पिटाई हो रही है इंस्टीट्यूशंस की. ये है इनकी हिपोक्रेसी.
सेव ऑपोजिशन, सेव अलायंस, सेव कोएलिशन नहीं है, सेव कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन नहीं है. निखिल,
First of all, I condemn any incident of political violence. I feel there should be strong investigation, strong prosecutions, and all those people should be jailed, whether they're from the TMC or any other party.
Why doesn't Rahul Gandhi say that,
Nikhil? Attacking
when RG
or
happened, he said it's a
any Congress
distraction.
worker, or for that matter, any political party. Karan, I did not interject you. I did not interject you.
He's asking you a direct question, Nikhil. Just that.
Should Rahul Gandhi make a statement ever on Bengal?
Yes, No, Rahul Gandhi. See, the point is that political violence is condemnable, and multiple statements to that effect have been made by leaders of the Congress party. What I'm saying is that, any incident of violence is a failure of the law and order. And let's not forget that during elections, the law and order becomes essentially under the control of the Election Commission of India. So the person that you should be primarily targeting, or the institution, is the Election Commission of India. India, but I don't know why you're so scared to raise the question.
You just began by saying the right thing, then pulled back. Law and order के लिए election commission, that is during polls. Who will you hold responsible if something goes wrong in Uttar Pradesh?
Post-poll violence. Post-poll violence.
No, I will hold Yogi Adityanath responsible for something.
Why can't you utter Mamta Banerjee's name? Why?
Mamta Banerjee is responsible for something going wrong. I am saying that if any incident of violence took place when the law and
there
order
are many instances of violence that have taken place already. Karan gave you the list.
Only one Congress leader had the guts to call it out. That was Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, who was sidelined. Who was sidelined, Nikhil, have the guts to say this, कि राहुल गांधी की हिम्मत नहीं हुई. जब आरजी को रेप पे पूछा गया, he said it's a distraction. The audacity of the man to call it a distraction, a gruesome rape.
Are you kidding me? Karan, are you kidding me? He was the leader of the Congress party in the Lok Sabha while he continued.
Yes, and he was sidelined after that.
You know, if the leader of the opposition would have been taken seriously, a leader of Congress, the party didn't back him. He would say something about Bengal and the top leadership, the high command.
Mallikarjun Kharge is on record saying complain karna band karo. Just before the Lok Sabha elections, Mallikarjun Kharge reprimanded Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary and said ye complain karna band karo, we are united with TMC. क्या हो गया था तब? जवाब नहीं है इनके पास. इनके पास जवाब नहीं है.
The man did get a Lok Sabha ticket in 2024. No, I have a jawab to him. सुनना नहीं है.
You don't even have candidates to, take tickets from the Congress party. बादशाह आलम जी, अगर जैसे लालू यादव जी पे केस चल रहा है, अगर उनकी कोई अपील है वो डिनाई हो जाती है, मैं एक एग्जांपल दे रहा हूं आपको, उदाहरण, और अगर कोर्ट ने उसको डिनाई कर दिया आपकी अपील को, तो आपके समर्थक क्या करेंगे? आग लगा देंगे प्रदेश में?
नहीं, देखिए आजकल जो है ना, कोर्ट से फैसले तो आ रहे हैं लेकिन इंसाफ नहीं हो रहा है. अब जहां इंसाफ नहीं होगा तो वहां वो तो पब्लिक के ऊपर जाएगा ना कि पब्लिक किस तरह से रिएक्ट करती है.
देखिए, एक सवाल लगता है सर आप लोगों को एक्सपोज करने में,
यहाँ के दूध का
सड़क पे फैसला, आपको अब सड़क पे इंसाफ चाहिए, संसद में इंसाफ नहीं हो रहा है, कोर्ट में नहीं हो रहा है, सड़क पे होगा, यही कह रहे हैं ना बादशाह आलम जी?
के मुद्दे पर प्रणेश जी, आप मेरी बात सुन लीजिए, आप मेरी बात पहले सुन लीजिए, फिर उसको जो है बीच में इंटरप्ट करिए. मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि S.I.R के मुद्दे पर जो बिहार के अंदर इन्होंने जो 14,35,000 वोटर डुप्लीकेट आ गए उसमें, जिसमें 3,42,000 वोटर जो है सेम उनका नाम लिखा हुआ है कई जगह, और ये शुद्धिकरण के बाद ये वोटर लिस्ट बनी है, तो जनता कहां जाएगी? जनता ने पेपर भी सबमिट किया, फिर भी उनके नाम काट दिए गए.
आपको रियलाइज नहीं हो रहा आप क्या बोल रहे हैं? अगर किसी का नाम काट दिया गया तो उसको क्या करना चाहिए? सड़क पे उतर जाना चाहिए गोला बारूद लेके?
अरे सड़क पर वहां पब्लिक उतरी हुई है, आप लोगों को वो थोड़ी
प्रोटेस्ट करेंगे ना, या
उतरी हुई कि नहीं उतरी है? बीजेपी के नेताओं को वहां
सवाल है. अगर कोई ये कहता है यू आर प्लेइंग विथ फायर, पता नहीं उसको हिंदी में मैं क्या अनुवाद करूं आपके लिए, यू आर प्लेइंग विथ फायर और डोंट प्ले विथ फायर, आग से मत खेलिए, इसका क्या मतलब हुआ?
देखिए, आग से खेल रही है भारतीय जनता पार्टी, आग से खेल रहा है चुनाव आयोग. ये जो ग्राउंड के ऊपर जो रियलिटी है उसको नहीं देख रहे हैं. ये वोटर लिस्ट से इस तरह से नाम हटा देंगे तो उसको क्या आप गैर भारतीय वो करेंगे? आपके ये यहाँ का नागरिक नहीं है?
नहीं तो अगर किसी का नाम, वही तो सवाल है बादशाह आलम जी, ध्यान से सुनिए 1 मिनट. अगर किसी का नाम हटा दिया, मान लेते हैं हटा दिया किसी का नाम, आपका नाम है हटा दिया, आप 40 साल से वोटर हैं बिहार में, आपका नाम काट दिया, तो आप क्या करेंगे? बंदूक लेके उतर जाएंगे सड़क पे या आप कोर्ट जाएंगे?
दिया है 2003 में हमने वोट दिया है. इलेक्शन कमीशन ये कह रहा है कि 2003 में जिनके वोटर लिस्ट में नाम है उनको कोई कागज देने की जरूरत नहीं है. एक मतदाता क्या सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाएंगे? सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाने की हैसियत रखता है एक मतदाता?
आप ये बताओ कि नो अप्रोचिंग द कोर्ट्स फॉर जस्टिस, वी विल डू जस्टिस स्ट्रीट स्टाइल. करण,
नहीं, देखिए प्रणेश, आपको ना बार बार आप पूछ रहे हैं बिकॉज आपको विश्वास नहीं हो रहा है, पर मुझे विश्वास है. मैं इनकी रैलीज वगैरह फॉलो करता रहता हूं. अभी कुछ दिन पहले तेजस्वी जी ने कहा है शहाबुद्दीन अमर रहे. शहाबुद्दीन कौन था भाई? एक जमीन के कट्ठे के लिए उसने जिंदा जला दिया था 4 लोगों को। वो व्यक्ति के लिए जब अमर रहे के नारे लगे और तेज प्रताप एक दरोगा से कहे भाई नाचो, जब तक मैं कह रहा हूं तब तक नाचते रहो, तो ये लोग तो ऐसे ही हैं भाई। दे बिलीव इन स्ट्रीट जस्टिस जस्ट एज ममता बनर्जी बिलीव्स की ईडी की टीम, एनआईए की टीम, बीएसएफ की टीम इन सब पे हमला तक कर सकती है इनके गुंडे।
प्रोफेसर मंडल,
दे बिलीव इन दिस भाई।
अरे आप you are such an idiot.
No, mind your language. Mind your language. Don't make a fool of yourself on TV. Don't make a fool of yourself on TV.
No, Professor Mamta, let's be civil. Let's not call each other names.
Don't make a fool of yourself on TV. You are a professor. Behave like one. Don't behave like a lumpen here.
Yeah, I will.
Don't. I know you will.
1 minute.
Don't behave like
Professor Mondal, let's not call each other names. If you disagree with something, you present your facts, arguments, whatever it is. Let's not call each other names. Professor Mondal, please. You're a reasonable man, sir. Please don't get carried away.
No, hang on. He has used bad language about my chief minister.
What bad language?
Directly accusing her of being complicity with,
I have given exact dates and references with High Court orders.
Because of Mamta Banerjee.
I have given High Court orders, Governor's proclamations.
Let him speak. Let him speak.
Yeah.
You, first of all, learn some manners. I did not disturb you.
Okay, Professor Mondal, can we now get on with the debate? Professor Mondal, counter Karan Verma with facts. Now, come on.
I will answer the question. I will, yes, I'm answering. Post-poll violence happened on 3rd and 4th of May when the governor was under the rule, immediately after the declaration of result. Now come to the point. Who is investigating post-poll violence? Your CBI for the last 4 years. What has they done? Who is investigating all those attacks on quote-unquote NIA and PD? NIA. There are 6 NIA investigations, 24 CBI investigations in the last 4 years. What are the results? And you talk about corruption. How many corruption cases are there since 2024? What are the results? Show me the result. Or shame yourself. Shame yourself for harassing all.
Let's go by. No, let's go by result. 1 minute. I'll come to you. 1 minute. Let me pick the lowest hanging fruit. 1 minute. Let's talk about results. Professor Mondal, shant ho jaiye pehle, please. 1 minute. Calm down, Professor Mondal. Calm down. You're talking about results. Let's base our arguments on result. 1 minute. The Trinamool Congress has won successive elections in Bengal. That is an election result. On what basis are you accusing the election commission of voter chori and fraud, etc., etc.? On what basis are you saying democratic institutions are under attack? Sir, result. Your logic.
Excellent. Pranesh, now I have to answer.
No, let him answer this, sir.
We won because of the blessings of people and the hateful. I will answer. We won because of the blessings of people and the hateful campaigns of yours. And people like who's sitting in that studio, who are hired by BJP to hate, to spread
Professor
hatred.
Mondal,
Continue to spread hatred.
Okay,
because us and Bengalis will continue to win. Will continue to win.
I wish you all the best.
Hatred.
May you never lose. 1 minute. Don't lose your cool here. 1 minute, Professor Mondal. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Now tell me, if you won by the blessings of people, how has Modi won, sir?
Yes. We have not contested. Now Modi should question his own election results, because he has questioned the Bihar voters.
But he is not questioning the result. No. You are exposing yourself.
Pranesh, he's talked about results. Now I'm going to tell him about one result which should shame him, because for 3 years on your show and other shows, this man had the audacity to deny post-poll violence, and he used to always argue, conviction kab hoga, conviction kya hoga? 2 जुलाई 2025 को पहला conviction होता है post-poll violence में. क्या हो गया था प्रोफेसर मंडल? आपको सांप सूंघ गया था तब उसके बाद? Will you apologize for being in complete denial of that? Something that was raised by every single agency, governor, team of intellectuals and academicians, human rights, everyone. Finally, a conviction was secured on 2nd July 2025. A TMC goon. Will you apologize for that now? Shame on the TMC for indulging in this. And then you have the audacity to do this gundagardi on news channels.
TMC leader, show me the judgment. You accuse the
convicted.
Please check and fact check it.
2nd July.
No TMC leaders.
Oh God.
No TMC leaders are involved.
Professor Mondal, 1 minute, Professor Mondal.
You are in denial of
1
forceful
minute.
violence.
1 minute.
Now there is a conviction in forceful violence.
1 minute.
Yeah.
You will find the judgment, sir. And if you think Karan is not speaking facts or wrong on his facts, there is social media, or when we meet again, you can fact check him, expose his lies. Where is he running away? No one is running away. Tuhin Sinha, democratic institutions in the country are hijacked, which is why the patience of people is running thin, says the opposition. Sadak pe faisla hoga.
देखिए Pranesh, every time the opposition makes this preposterous allegation, they are casting aspersions on the Honorable Supreme Court. The matter has been going on in the Supreme Court for the last 3 months. The Supreme Court, while it has been extremely patient, it has put all checks and balances, it has validated the exercise. Number 2, I heard RJD spokesperson, he's saying, क्या हर व्यक्ति सुप्रीम कोर्ट में नहीं जाएगा क्या? नहीं, सुप्रीम कोर्ट में नहीं जाना है आपको अपने बीएलए के पास जाना है. लेकिन प्रणेश, इस पूरे प्रकरण में आरजेडी और कांग्रेस पार्टी के जो बीएलएस है उनका रोल संदिग्ध है. 25 अगस्त को सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इंडाइट किया था कि आखिर ये बीएलएस कर क्या रहे हैं. अगर ये अपना काम करे तो 4 दिन में जो है पूरा प्रक्रिया पूरा हो जाएगा. But I have adequate reasons to believe that Rahul Gandhi and Tejasvi Yadav have asked their BLAs to purposely mislead the country, mislead the people of the state. And finally, Rahul Gandhi's disappearance for a good 2 weeks on the eve of the Bihar elections, while we have been very patient with his undisclosed foreign tours, this time it needs to come under the scanner because of his repeated warnings कि मैं हाइड्रोजन बम की तैयारी कर रहा हूं, मैं हाइड्रोजन बम छोड़ूंगा. क्या एम्यूनेशन आपको साउथ अमेरिका से मिल रहा है? I think this opposition is a very devious opposition. It has malified intentions, and I think it's a matter of time before they come out with some bigger tricks for which we have to be alert.
Okay, Nikhil.
First of all, I think my good friend Tuhin needs to realize that to enfranchise voters and to keep them on the voter rolls is the responsibility and work and duty of the Election Commission of India, and it is the work of the BLOs, booth level officers, not the BLAs, booth level agents. Booth level agents exist to be an additional measure of check. They exist to do the work of their political parties, not to do the work of the Election Commission of India.
Nikhil, right, you're right. No, you are right in, defining the role. 1 minute. But if the political party is trying from rooftops about vote chori, shouldn't the BLAs then, in the very least, 1 minute, go to the Election Commission and say, look, these are the number of claims. We suspect vote chori. How difficult is it to understand?
Can I please complete my point? Can I please complete my point?
There was no point in what you were saying. Now make a new point.
Not the BLA. The fact that Pranesh, what's the point of me speaking if you're going to speak over me? Can I please complete? It is the job of the Election Commission. The fact that the Election Commission is trying to pass the buck on to the BLAs is very suspicious to begin with. Also, there are a slew of people, hundreds and thousands of people who have said on television cameras, in affidavits to various other authorities, that they received no communication from the Election Commission of India when their names were deleted. You were talking about a fake affidavit that was given by...
Nikhil, 1 minute. 2 points you've made, 1 minute. Let me say that even if what you're saying is true or comes true, should people resort to violence?
His name did not figure in the final roll.
Answer my question.
His name did figure in the draft roll of January.
If what you're saying comes true, should people take to the streets? Should they indulge in violence? That's my question.
And pander for the BJP and the Election Commission while they're trying to disenfranchise.
This is no way to debate. Now you have no answer, so you will continue to, say what you have. Then, by the way, this is not making any sense. Watch the recording after this. सिद्धार्थ शर्मा जी, आपने सुन लिया सड़क पे फैसला. क्या ये सही है सर? 1 मिनट के लिए भूल जाते हैं हम पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज, वी आर ऑल रिस्पॉन्सिबल सिटीजन्स. क्या ये तरीका हो सकता है, ये मॉडल हो सकता है कि कोर्ट्स में जस्टिस नहीं मिल रही है तो सड़कों पे उतरते हैं?
प्रणेश, जब आप कहते हैं कि लोग सड़कों पे उतरते हैं, सड़कों पर उतरते ही हिंसा नहीं होती है। सड़कों पर इस देश में गांधी जी भी उतरे थे और भाजपा के मार्गदर्शक मंडल में बैठे हुए अडवाणी जी भी उतरे थे। तो ये दोनों अगर सड़क पे उतरे थे तो कोई हिंसा नहीं कर रहे थे। आप अगर सड़क पे उतरने को गलत कहेंगे तो आप
नहीं, मैं ये कह रहा हूँ, ये जो डोंट प्ले विथ फायर है, सड़क पे मैंने वो कह दिया, सड़क पे उतर सकते हैं, प्रोटेस्ट कर सकते हैं। डोंट प्ले विथ फायर क्या है?
अरे सर, हम भी अपने घर में बच्चों को कहते हैं स्टेटस को मेंटेन करो, अनावश्यक आग से मत खेलो, अगरबत्ती को मत छुओ। तो जब ममता बनर्जी कुछ कह रही हैं, इसका मतलब है कि आपने जो बिहार में जो SIR किया, द एंटायर ट्रिगर हियर इज SIR, द स्ट्रेंथ एंड वीकनेस ऑफ एनी आइडिया इज
हाउ इज इट अ ट्रिगर? द सुप्रीम कोर्ट फाइंड्स नो प्रॉब्लम विद द SIR. No, 1 minute, sir. Who are we to call it a trigger? The Supreme Court does not see SIR as trigger.
Pranesh, the clumsy conspiracy of BJP to gerrymander and steal an election are now out in the open. If the population of India is increasing, if Indian economy is getting bigger,
ये देखिए, this is smart alliteration, clumsy conspiracy, but this clumsy conspiracy of the BJP did not work in Karnataka. How did AAP win Punjab? So the clumsy conspiracy is all, very well for you to say on television, Siddharth Sharma ji. If it was really about clumsy conspiracy or collusion, BJP would be ruling all the states. That is not true. Look at the mandate of the BJP in the last general elections. And I keep saying this, which dictator would want a humiliation like this? That you don't even have the single largest majority on your own. You have to rely on alliance partners, yet Modi is a dictator. Come on, we have to at least think before, making a point. Nikhil, you are not making any point, so don't even protest. I thank some of you for joining us on debate number 1. Viewers, let's shift our attention.